That could be. Yeah, cell phone reception's not wonderful here.
The world could end and we would have no idea.
We'd probably have some idea.
Probably.
The power would go out at least.
Yeah. I guess if it just straight up ended, that nobody would really know, right? It would just happen.
It would just happen. Right, you're talking more like if there was like I don't know, a large scale disaster.
Oh, okay.
You know, like 2012 type stuff.
Yeah.
We're in 2012. This could happen any day.
Is that a movie based on the John Grisham novel with Morgan
The Day After
Freeman?
Tomorrow?
The one that the Baltimore, the Ravens Stadium gets nuked.
Oh,
Some of All Fears.
Some of All Fears, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty close.
We are pretty close. We were very close. I was not aware that it was Baltimore that did that, and you know, I'm not a big John Grisham fan, but
yeah, they're kind of cheesy books.
If I was, I'd be very concerned about being here right now. Because everything John Grisham writes is true.
Is that true?
It's true. Everything he writes is true. Yep. Sure, that was John Grisham. That wasn't like Tom Clancy.
That may be Tom Clancy.
Because nothing Tom Clancy writes is true. That's the difference. That's how you tell them apart. Everything John Grisham writes is true, and nothing Tom Clancy writes is true. So that's how you know they're different people.
It may be Tom Clancy.
It seems like a Tom Clancy type thing to do. Jack Ryan.
Should probably check it out.
Tom Clancy.
Yeah.
I was thinking Jack Grisham doesn't have a lot of terrorists. He has a lot of lawyers.
Yeah. I don't know why.
They could be terrorist lawyers. But you never know. I don't think he's gotten that far yet.
Lawyer.
Yeah. All right, so
We did a documentary.
Conor. It looks like Conor won the die roll.
Leads things off with the Seacrum Coast.
He's gonna Delver? Nope. He's just gonna a mere Jataxium probe, revealing quite a good hand for Joshua. 2 grave crawlers, which is kind of hard for Delver to deal with. First game. Then he has a Mortipod, which will sack kill Delver at any given time if he plays it. Metamorph, which will copy a sword, or copy whatever else he wants to copy, and a Tragic Slip. So Conor is going to be he's not in an amazing position this game. You know, Metamorph he probably just saves for a Geist or something like that, or we're going to be able to get a sword. But he just gets to jam out all these grave crawlers.
I really wish I was able to have that feeling of having not played Magic in a few years and coming back and getting to see all these cards. Just having my mind blown.
Could you imagine if you like came back to Magic for like 5 years and you saw like Sun Titan, and someone's like, "It's the worst one." What?
What?
Then they just show you them in order, and they're just like, "Here's Frost Titan." And you're like, "Oh wow, that guy's awesome." And they're like, "Yeah, here's Inferno Titan."
And you're like, what?
Here's Grave Titan.
At Grave Titan, I'd start getting worried.
Your head would
like,
explode.
what is this Pokemon? You know?
Yeah. So Josh Conor just plays in a land. Josh follows suit with a land himself, attacks the Gravecrawler. Conor decides to gut shot it. I imagine. Actually, I think what happens here is he wants Josh to go play his second Gravecrawler, and think about recasting it, but he's going to Manlick it instead. I think he's trying to deal with both of those at the same time. Keep him off the table. The question is whether or not Josh goes for that, or if he does play something else this turn. Because the hand we saw with Josh didn't have any other zombies in it.
No, it did not.
So, I think that's Conor's plan here.
Yeah, and we know that Conor has casted Jataxian Probe, so he knows Joshua's hand. Joshua also knows that.
Right. He knows that Conor knows that he knows.
It's a lot of knowing.
It is a lot of knowing.
So much knowledge.
It could be a triple fake out. You don't know. I personally would just play the Mortipod here. Force Conor to either counter it or have another turn of doing nothing. You can't just pass. He doesn't like passing. Conor's like, yep, got a Mana Leak. Play the Gravecrawler. See if I care.
I had a friend make the assertion that the reason that he likes to play Magic is because he likes to make a plan in his life that is normally just complete and utter disarray. And Gitaxian Probe lets him make a plan more than any other card.
Mm-hmm. It does. So it looks like he decides to go with the Gravecrawler.
Yeah, well played by Conor. Found a way to make Gut Shot okay against Gravecrawler.
He did. So Joshua now needs another zombie if he wants to get his 2 Gravecrawlers back. Mortipod from Josh. Still not in the land. This hand that looked so amazing early on is starting to falter a bit on the back of just drawing 4 drops and not land. We'll see if Conor can capitalize off all this.
It doesn't look like he has any way to really apply pressure right now.
No, he doesn't.
But if he was able to draw a Geist this turn, which he did not, or perhaps if he's able to draw a Geist next turn, it's going to help him out a lot.
It will help him out a lot. Now
at least he has the Moorland Haunt.
Right, so he can start, he's got a Snapcaster from Mage he can eat. So he has some pressure. And there's Josh Hand. 2 Obliterators. Clogging it up, as they are wont to do in this matchup. Josh thinking hard about just sacking that Germ and taking out the Spirit, but I think wisely he goes again. He decides not to do it. Gets his hand again.
And earlier on, we were talking about how this matchup needs to play out. We had mentioned that Blue Black Zombies wants to play its hand as fast as possible. Just dump on the table.
Not going on so well this time.
This is not what's happening.
Not so much. Yep, and he spins around that Mortipod. Doesn't do a whole lot. Was that a land? I don't think it was.
It was not.
1 more for the yard. Looks like a sword from Conor. Man, if he can get a creature out, that sword is hitting for 9 if Josh sells a full hand. It's a lot of damage.
When your opponent's missing land drops, Sword of War and Peace becomes better than it already is.
Yes, it does. Don't cast Phantasmal Image, it can't copy anything. I think he might be... This is how deep Conor is looking at doing this, right? He's going to cast the image, copy nothing, have it die, and then make a Moran Haunt token. He is going deep.
And now, this is actually pretty... Oh. Didn't work. Okay. If Joshua had tapped out, that would have been really nice, but...
Right, he has Tragic Slip.
But I like this play by Conor. You know, he needs a guy.
He does need a guy. The only reason I don't like the play is that Josh discarded last turn. And if he doesn't, he'll discard again if he doesn't do anything.
And he has 2 swamps and 7 cards in his hand. Probably has a removal spell.
Right. I think he actually already had seen the Tragic Slip, maybe from a Probe on the first turn. So he had to know he had it. He had it. It was just,
Maybe he forgot.
Image, Messenger, Liliana. Draws from Probe. Another land. Wow. So this match, Conor has everything in the world to win, to dominate Josh, except for a creature to hold a sword.
Conor even has the Moorland Haunt.
3rd land, Josh. Pumps the fist. I imagine we'll be seeing a messenger here. He might be a little bit worried that Conor wasted a Phantasmal image. Thinking maybe he has multiples. Maybe he's thinking, maybe I go Liliana. He doesn't have that many cards in his hand. I have still have Obliterators. You know, Liliana will keep him off creatures for a while.
Liliana's a really nice play here. Just Liliana +1.
Yep. You know,
makes a lot of sense.
Josh, when he starts getting mana together, he gets to get back Grave Crawlers. So it's not too bad. Not too bad to be discarding cards. He has the engine to. He has the engine to get the card advantage right now. But which does he do? Liliana. Yep. That was his choice.
Seems to make sense.
It does make sense. It does make a lot of sense.
And we're going upstairs, I assume.
I assume too. You know, there's a reasonable possibility that he can just ultimate her.
Yeah.
You know, Josh has, or Conor just has no pressure. He needs to draw something real soon. But can he? That's the question. Can he draw anything? Just these Saber Snags do nothing. The sword's not doing anything.
Ultimately, Liliana is very fun.
Yeah, it is. You gotta choose stuff.
It's like Fact or Fiction, just put with like
with your life.
It's like it's like Duplo version.
Yeah.
You know.
I like that idea. Players deciding on what to discard.
And I assume Josh was going to discard an Obliterator.
I assume that too. Conor already knows what it is, put it face down top of his graveyard. Doesn't want to give Joshua any extra information, he doesn't have to. Technically, Joshua makes the decision first. It's the same time he reveals first. And I think that's it for Josh.
The discard ability on Liliana, don't you just both reveal at the same time? Like you both have to set the card aside and then
yeah.
put it up, kind of a show and tell
kind of like that
sort of thing.
I mean, it gets shortcutted so often to being just, you know, I'm going to discard, you discard,
people
blah,
just
blah,
discard
blah.
cards and it's assumed they +1 there for Liliana.
Yeah.
On Magic Online, it's clean.
A lot of cards are much cleaner on Magic Online. Even Sylvan Library is cleaner on Magic Online. Not cleaner Meddling Mage. So Josh just turned 3 mana. Looks like he's you got a messenger. Nice little tell. You pick your hand, you took a card sideways, put it in play. We know what that is. Now imagine old +1 Liliana again.
Did Conor play land last time?
I don't believe he did.
Yeah.
He's holding whatever he has left to. I mean, he's gotten more than enough in play. He's just holding whatever he has left to.
Discard to Liliana to protect.
Yep.
Whatever interactive spells he has, the Vapor Snag and.
Josh was again sitting and started card aside while Conor, while Josh waits. While Josh sides. Up to 5.
And I imagine Obliterator's got to go.
I think so too. But will it? It does. And over Josh, it's this double-edged thing where not only... Ooh, that was in Abyssal Soccer.
Pretty good one.
It is pretty good. Josh, of course, can just, minus 2 Liliana, but it means he's not going to ultimate anytime soon. Obliterator is the double-edged sword where he doesn't know if Conor has more Phantasmal images or not. I guess he does know he only has one and it's gone, so that's not a problem. Never mind that. You just don't want to get your, in general, you don't want to get it copied.
Dross Messenger coming in for 3 points.
Yep.
Conor jumping in at 13.
I imagine we'll see some Gravecrawlers being cast here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Then we can also see Liliana go minus 2. And then Joshua will also have Tragic Slip open to
Stop the Spirit.
Stop the Spirit. So
I like that play. And with zombies, a lot of times when you get the Gravecrawler draw, you just deal with my Gravecrawlers. All right. Another zombie, deal with my Gravecrawlers. That just seems like the right way to play it.
Yeah, and dealing with Gravecrawlers, it seems like a quick question, but the answer's not so quick.
It's not.
A lot of decks have quite a bit of trouble with a 2/1 who just keeps on coming back.
Yeah, and a lot of them, they just have to spend cards on it. Yep, 3, kill it, dead. Conor untaps. Does he draw something he needs here?
Mana Link would be really nice.
Mana Link would be nice here. Sword. Look what I got. He's going to be equipping in 1 second. I'm going to equip, and Joshua says nope.
Wait, what?
Oh, he must have discarded the slip to Liliana?
No.
I think he did.
Why?
I don't know. I would have kept the slip, personally.
As would I.
Those images aren't doing a whole lot.
They'll start copying Messenger at least.
Yeah.
But I imagine Messenger is getting snagged in response to an image.
More than likely.
Oh, if he does this pre-combat, that's going to be really bad.
He is doing a pre-combat. No, he says, I got a snag. All you get is a Gravecrawler. God. Why did he do that pre-combat?
I do not know.
So much better post-combat. Conor points out that his Phantasmal image is not a messenger and therefore is untapped. Josh can swing for 4.
Yeah.
Takes Conor to 12. But he's now got this hand full of messengers that don't do a whole lot.
It's a long game for Zombies versus Delver.
It's a very long game. Neither player has really had a great draw. Nope, that he doesn't attack. Only the 2 Gravecrawlers. Conor down to 12. Doesn't have a lot of cards in his hand to regain from sword, but Josh's hand is just full of stuff. So he's going to play another image. Just get cards out of his hand. Ooh, that's not fun.
Yeah, does not seem good at this point. Does he still have the Metamorph, or did he discard that?
Oh no, he equipped it, the Gravecrawler to the Morpod. Not great. He still have the Metamorph.
So he can copy the sword.
He can.
it's fifth land. That seems like very reasonable.
It's definitely reasonable. It's definitely the right line. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Now the problem is he's taking like it's the right line, but he's taking a lot of damage here. 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. Should put him about 7. So if he draws a land and plays it, that puts about 5. He is, the question is, does he have enough? Can he still race it, race the sword at that point? Ooh, a Geist.
And that's a great draw step for Conor.
That is a great draw step for Conor. Josh, he's got another image for the Geist. But it's not enough. That means if he does that, then the other token's going to get him. He can make a sword, copy sword, put it on a creature, attack, regain some life, but I think he's just dead to the swing back if that happens.
In the spirit with the sword, it's just too much damage. And, Josh just kind of had a new lease on life this game to begin with.
Yeah, he was.
It was a very long period where Conor was drawing nothing, and that kind of gave Joshua a small opening to get back into this game. But that pre-combat image hurt him pretty bad.
It did, and really, just discarding a tragic slip over one of his 2 phantasmal images.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest error here.
Right.
Is having that tragic slip in the graveyard and having not played it, because that's the difference between that spirit attacking with the sword 3 times now, or 0 times.
Yep.
And that guy would have just came down, and then you still would have had the second image in your hand.
Right. But he must have thought that he's got Liliana going, he's got all this stuff going on. He can stop it, but Conor wisely held the sword as long as possible to not put him on it.
Conor's been playing very well in all the matches we've watched him play.
Yeah, he's played very well.
But he always slows down their play in the finals.
Yeah.
It's understandable.
It is. I mean, no one wants to make a dumb error in the finals. So they're just like, attack. What are you at? 10, 9, or like 11. Ooh.
Oh.
Well, this is awkward.
Why did I wait till the finals to do this?
I mean, I'm sure at some point in your career you've done the awkward like bolt a creature and they're like, all right, and you're like, oh right, you gotta.
I did on camera the last Baltimore Legacy.
Oh yeah.
Thing. I attacked my Batter Skull and my opponent blocked the Tarmogoyf, and I had just relic last turn, and then he's just like, okay, and before I said okay back, luckily I was like, wait, what? And I looked at both graveyards and I was like, okay, Swords to Plowshares to Tarmogoyf, but I just missed out on 4 points of damage and 4 life, so I was dumb.
Right.
And Josh was gonna pack it in.
Yeah, man.
Not seeing a way out. That's rough.
Yeah, that was a game where it looked like it was Conor's to win. Then all of a sudden, it looked like Joshua didn't really have any way. It looked like there was nothing that would be able to stop him from Conor. But that's not what happened.
Hello and welcome back. We're here in Baltimore, in between games 1 and 2 of the finals of the Standard Open, and we're looking to give away a Gen Con badge.
Gen Con badge?
Yeah, these are pretty rare to get.
These are. Well, you mean
Indianapolis?
You can just go to Gen Con and buy a badge, but they're expensive. And so we're giving them away.
You get a free one if you can answer this question correctly. Now, for this question, it's the finals question, so I feel like it needs to be a little bit harder. And I feel like we need to get more to like a little bit of a personal level with this question. So I'd like to ask you a question about one of the top 8 competitors of the Invitational. Drew Levin, how many weekends so far this year has he spent playing Magic?
Ooh.
Now that's, it may seem like a question like, how would we know this? But
we're not singling out just people who know Drew Levin. Yeah. We're not saying like this is a Gen Con badge for Drew Levin's girlfriend. You can find this out.
this information is readily available to you. Now, if you want to go to the StarCityGames.com website, go to the invitational coverage, and maybe just take a look at the written coverage because it's pretty good. Maybe you could find a clue.
Maybe. You never know. It's like Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the answer to how many weekends Drew Levin has spent playing Magic?
Colonel Muster in the saloon.
That's not Blue's Clues. That's just Clue.
With a plunger.
A plunger. Wow. I didn't know there was a saloon in that mansion. And again, when you know the answer, you can tweet at me, you can tweet at Jake, you can tweet at anybody you want to. If you want to tweet at Penn Jillette, tell Penn Jillette that Drew Levin is spending, however many weekends playing Magic this year. That's fine. You can do that. But you have to put on hashtag SCG Premium.
It's true. Penn
Jillette will not understand what you're telling him, but that's okay. We'll know. We see all. The only things that actually say SCG Premium, they say SCG Premium, SGG Premium, Sydney Cricket's Grounds Premium. I'm not going to get any of those. So SCG Premium. How many weekends this year has Drew Levin been playing Magic?
Until Facebook, I never knew how many Magic players were so into cricket.
It's amazing. We
really
all love
unbelievable. And it's just the Australian cricketers. They're just something else.
Well, the Sydney Cricket Grounds are they're really the mecca for all us Australian cricket fans. Because there are people who like British. I like Australian cricket. The ball spins the other way.
That makes
Australian
sense.
cricket, yeah. That's how it works down there.
Funny aside, I believe the president or prime minister, whatever they have in Australia, just disappeared a few years ago.
Really?
Just gone. They got a new one. It wasn't even that big of a deal. They talked about it for a couple of weeks. Imagine if that happened anywhere else. What a huge deal.
It would be a huge deal. Wow. Do they know what happened to them?
No. Maybe got eaten by a shark. Who knows? It's Australia. Everybody gets eaten by sharks.
They do have half the venomous animals in the world there. You know the duckbill platypus is venomous?
Yes. Extremely venomous.
Extremely venomous. I saw a guy who got bitten by one. He's either bitten or stung because they can both bite you and sting you. And his arms swelled up to the size of a small child. Not really a small child, more like a 9-year-old. And then a 5-year-old or something. It was pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I don't go to Australia.
Yeah, I would not want to go to Australia. It's a dangerous place.
I might go to Australia. I just hang out in the bars.
Yeah, that'd probably be fun.
Meet some kangaroos.
They're adorable.
Talk to a wallaby. Do what you do.
Koala party.
Koala party.
Oh, not many parties better than the koala party.
You can't handle a koala party, man. Those guys are crazy. They just eat all the eucalyptus and then...
So, looking at these sideboards here, Joshua Wagener has 3 Ratchet Bombs, which I imagine he's going to be bringing in here. He has 1 Dismember. He has 2 Go for the Throats. He has a Black Sun Zenith, and he has an extra Mortar Pod. So, he's not going to be bringing in all of that. That'd just be crazy. But he's going to be bringing in some of it, and I think we're definitely seeing the Ratchet Bombs.
I think so too.
I think there's a very good chance we see the Go for the Throats.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think there's a pretty decent chance we see the Black Sun Zenith.
Yeah, I think that one Black Sun Zenith gets him out of a lot of tough situations. It's not great in most time, but there's a lot of tough situations.
It's a one-of, though, and I feel like that's a good sideboard card to have as a one-of.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it as a 2-of, maybe. When you have more than one, you draw it so much more often. But, I don't know. And obviously, Conor's going to bring in the Celestial Purges. He's going to bring in the Timelies. Not bringing in Jace, I don't think. I don't think Jace. You don't like milling. For the zombies. You don't want to mill zombies too much. Here you go. Have some zombies. Yeah, I don't think much else. He can bring in Surgical. Not great. We can bring it in. Batterskull is actually pretty good in this matchup. It's kind of hard for Joshua to kill, and it gains you a lot of life, as it turns out.
It races well.
It does race very well. Very, very well. Game 2 of the finals. Again, Chris Moran up 1-0 with his blue-white Delver deck against Joshua Wagener's blue-black zombies. Josh was staring into our souls in the camera.
He's been doing that a lot. Every time he's on a feature match.
Giving us a look.
Likes to
saying, I know you're watching me, he says.
peer deep into our souls.
Hello,
I have a
Josh.
reason for having discarded that tragic slip.
He's like, you don't understand. It was the only way. Just has the read.
Do a quick Google search of Josh Wagener. You'll find some Star City stuff there, but the first result you get is a round 10 feature match from some tournament in 2000. There's no number after that. Against Jordan Berkowitz.
Jordan Berkowitz. Wow, there was a point where he was the new wonderkind. He was like the big kid. He was gonna
do great things.
He was gonna do great things. Remember those days. Turn 1, Josh, no play. Connor's a Delver. Josh puts out a mortar pod and says, "Get out, Delver.
That's exactly what you
go to your
do.
home. You live in the graveyard. Moving expenses are paid by me." Conor a second Seachrome Coast, but nothing else. Josh has to feel pretty good about this.
Yeah,
Though his hand is not tremendous. He can distress. Looks like there is maybe a revoke. Oh, Divine Offering. That's what that is.
Joshua's got to be really happy that Mortar Pod got Divine Offering.
Joshua also needs a new
that
pad of
sword in his
paper
hand.
because he's running out here. Is that like a life pad from the late 1990s or something?
Are you guessing distresses and duresses? You go through a lot more paper too.
That's true. That's true. That just looks like an old style life pad. Maybe it's not. It just.
You're right though. It does. Looks
like the ones you always get in like the early 2000s, late 90s or so. And Josh hasn't playing that long, so. Yep, he goes to Celestial Purge. A pretty good card in this matchup. Put in the graveyard means the Snapcaster can still get it back eventually, but it's not going to happen too soon. I think he's going to play his own sword. Yep, I got a sword. What do you got? You do not have a flip Delver. You call yourself a Delver player.
Connor's able to find a fourth land, then he'll be able to Snapcaster Celestial Purge this Obliterator.
He will.
Should be kind of backbreaking.
It would be very backbreaking. I mean, Joshua could just wait an extra turn and put the sword on it.
This thing that Joshua can do, though, is, once that happens, Joshua can simply use Phantasmal to copy Snapcaster Mage, and then he gets another Distress, which is pretty nice.
That's true. That's true.
You get to distress your opponent and have something to put your sword on, so you get to pluck the removal spell before you put the sword on.
Yeah, well, you can't put the sword on the image. So, and Connor's got his own sword.
Obviously.
But, yeah, so Josh's sword's a little bit better kind of in this situation. And especially since you drew a Mortar Pod. Now, Conor can't purge the Obliterator. He's got to first kill the sword with a Snapcaster Mage and hope to draw another Mage to Redivine Offering the sword. Mortar Pod takes up the Delver. All of a sudden, Conor is very, very far behind.
Yeah,
though he does get an image. Image can copy Obliterator, but only for as long as targeting that. Josh has nothing more about it. His hand is full images. I mean, personally, I think you image your obliterator. Oh, you can't do that. You cannot image your obliterator and throw it at the...
You can't equip it.
No.
You could just make 2 images of Obliterator and attack for 7.
You could. Yeah, I like that play. I like that play a lot. He's attacking,
You just sacrifice all your lands.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, Conor's sacrificing all of his permanents.
Huh?
Only seems fair.
And you're left with 2 5/5s.
Right.
There's no permanents.
Yep, and that looks like what he's doing.
I like this play.
So do
This is
I.
the play I would make.
Haram. Obliterator. Looking to eat everything. Conor's board. Josh's board.
So delicious.
I wish Magic turns had more sound effects.
That'd be great.
You go like ha ha chong. You could be like, cause Obliterator's just ha chong, ha chong, ha chong, chugga chugga chugga. Anytime anything gets a batter skull, it's gotta just have like a choo choo train.
Beep beep. That's what I normally say. With
Beep, beep. That's from like get on the train. Boop boop.
Or you could use the sound effect of when the Flintstones start moving their car.
The feet sound. I'd like that.
Yeah, that's a good batter skull sound. The mortar pod sound is the sound of the guys with the tube faces in Mario who shoot the eggs.
Oh, like the God, what's their name?
Sniffets.
Sniffets. I was thinking it was Ego or something. Oh,
Jesse coming through with
Conor scoops.
Sweet Mario knowledge. All right.
Too much. Too many obliterators.
So toward the end there, just to recap what happened at the end of the game, Conor was under a lot of pressure from that Phyrexian Obliterator with a Sword of War and Peace. Joshua made 2 copies of his 5/5 Phyrexian Obliterator, attacked for 7, and it was also going to have a Sword Trigger when it hit and a trample. And if Conor blocked, he would have lost all of his permanents.
Yep.
And
Josh,
if he didn't block, he would have died.
Right.
So,
and Josh was left with nearly, at that point, 3 obliterators, 1 with the sword.
Yeah.
And that's a hard position to be in. To only have 3 obliterators and a sword.
Yeah.
So,
it's already equipped too.
Yeah, it's already equipped. So Conor said, you know what? I'm going to go home.
It's good for me to have no lands and for you to have no permanents.
He's like, you know what? You might got this one. Maybe you got this one. I'll just pack it in. So 3rd game. Joshua, deck working out much more like he had hoped it to. Conor is stumbling just a little bit that game. He was a little light on land, which after the first game of being so heavy on land, you always feel like those are somehow related. You're like, well, of course I drew no land the second game. I drew my land the first game. I better pile shuffle this now once to present it.
There's very little to do with it.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, if you riffle your deck like 7 times,
Yeah.
basically full random.
It basically
60
is.
cards.
Yeah.
I think the actual correct number is like 7.3 or something, so you actually go overboard with 8.
You shuffle it 7 times,
Yeah.
and then you sort of do half of it, and you just walk away, and you're like, all right, it's randomized.
I like to give it a wash. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no. You ever washed a deck? I've washed a deck.
Oh, like
In the washer?
laundry?
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
I've washed cards before. I washed my curse scrolls. That was back when curse scroll was like the card.
The card. And you're just like, no.
There was a period though where like all my cards would just like get wet. Like I don't know how I ever thought that was okay to play with these like terribly marked cards. So I played like the public pool stuff, like wet. Like
yeah.
Like in our bathing suits and stuff. Just crazy.
Yeah.
And now those cards are probably worth a lot of money.
They were. They probably are. I remember when I started playing in like middle school, we got they didn't really have the opaque sleeves, so you would get like those like penny sleeves. But like I think I bought a Bizarre Baghdad and it was like $5. And like I got that like a Horror of Horrors and a Wretched, and I was just like, these cards are awesome. and I had those 3 in hard sleeves and everything else just in like penny sleeves.
And you play with them in the same deck?
Yeah, you know, just like, yeah, whatever. You're just sticking out like 5 times more, but you know, I can't buy hard sleeves for the whole thing. I thought that was cool enough. Conor looks like not happy with his hand. Going down to 6. Josh. It's over.
I think he's also going to 6, or is he happy?
I think he's happy enough. I mean, he's got 2 lands, a Gravecrawler.
I thought I only saw 1 land.
I think there's a Swamp and a Catacombs.
There's a Swamp that I'm not seeing here. Maybe he's just...
I could be wrong. I thought I saw a Swamp and a Catacombs, and he was flipping through.
He may be thumbing it with the Drowned Catacombs, so I don't see it, but I thought I had only seen Drowned Catacombs.
If there's just a Catacombs, he's definitely mulliganing. Even with 2 lands, it's kind of a harder keep to have. But they're discussing something. He's looking at us. He's like, "Hey guys, it's just me, just doing some mulliganing."
Is he keeping this?
I can't tell. I believe he is.
Doesn't look like he's going to shuffle mode.
Or maybe he is. You can just see his like shoulders down, so.
Yeah. All right. Oh, we're into the game. All right, so it looks like Josh did not have that Swamp.
No, he did not.
And he, on turn 1, played the Drowned Catacomb. On turn 2, tried to get a Diregraph Ghoul onto the table, but it was met by a mana leak. But he has a second Diregraph Ghoul, so he's able to apply some pressure.
In comes the Ghoul again. Looks like he has a Distress.
But no 3rd land.
Does not have a 3rd land. But I'd still like Distress here.
Yep, he's mulling over. This is a distressing decision.
There's a 2 like, he has 2 Obliterators in his hand, and I wonder if he boarded any of them out or he just left them all in. Because usually you would board out some number in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean,
if you started
you
with
don't
4.
have to board out all of them.
No, but he's starting out with 4.
And 4 is too many.
And I think he's drawn 2 Obliterators in the last 2 games. So I wonder if he boarded any out. But yep, here we go. He
maybe Obliterators just won him all of his matches.
Maybe. He's got 4 of them. Image, Capital Digraph Ghoul. It is tap, thank you, he says. And a land, which brings a messenger. His hand is just full of messengers. Conor probably wishes at this point he had kept the messenger. It's a lot better on messenger because it comes back.
And
bigger.
Yeah, it's just so good.
It is. It's real good.
An Obliterator on the way back if that's available.
Ooh, I like it.
That's just crazy.
It is crazy. Attacks Josh to 18. Plays an image, or plays a Geist. Josh draws a Swamp. Doesn't have a way to actually deal with a Geist. You can attack Conor down to 10, which looks like he is
9 even, right? And then
9.
We have then he can just play another Obliterator.
Yeah.
Or a Messenger. I'm actually not sure which is better. Obliterator's better.
It might be.
This spot.
I actually kind of like Messenger a bit. Like, I think if you play the Obliterator, so you attack for 5, taking to 9. I worry about the Obliterator just making you lose the Vapor Snack. And Messenger gets you a little further ahead.
Conor's had at least one spot where Vapor Snag would have been nice. So
that's true.
He would have had a drawn in the last 2 turns.
Fair enough.
Definitely an argument to be made for both, though. Both
right.
plays. Oh, both. He has a Gravecrawler.
Yeah,
Never mind. That plays strictly superior then.
Conor all of a sudden is looking a little dead on board. He really can't afford to attack here. He never liked blocking with Geist. He can hold back for an image or for a Vapor Snare, Vapor Snag. But it's all it's rough. He looks like he's thinking about attacking with that. I don't think that does enough.
Now it's going to put Josh down to 12 here, but I don't know if...
Unless he has... Because he doesn't have a Purge, right? He just has a Snag, it looks like, in a Divine Offering. In comes the team.
I think he just drew a third Obliterator, so he did not side out the Obliterators here.
No. Didn't side him down either. Cool, Black School. Snagging one.
So he did draw the Vapor Snag.
Oh, and snags the other. Takes 2, got a 5. Wow, 2 snags.
Pretty nice.
It is very nice.
But now that he has no snags, the Team Obliterator.
The Obliterator seems a little more attractive now.
Yes. Although Joshua does need to worry about a Snapcaster Mage if he goes to the Team Obliterator play.
That's true.
I don't really know if he has another option though.
I don't know. I mean, Messenger is
pretty on your opponent's at 5. I guess if you play
low.
2 Messengers and your opponent's at 1, and then if either Messenger dies or control Mortar Pod.
Yeah.
But
Obliterator
really
has
nice
the
thing about
advantage.
Obliterator is that he can't attack you.
Yeah, well, he can. He just sacked 2 permanents. Now, one can be the Angel.
One can be the Angel.
It can be the Angel. Because you exile the Angel at the end of combat. So, it is still legal. But, I mean, he has to block here. He can't even attack. Not looking good for Conor.
Not at all.
Not at all. Josh is taking the lead. Conor staring down lethal damage. And I think he just has an island and a Divine Offering, which it's not enough. You can make a token to block the other creature. He can block the Obliterator with his Geist. He can block the.
At that point, Messenger can finish him off.
Yeah, right. Well, you can block there. Right. Block the Gravecrawler with a Spirit token off the Moran Haunt, but he still just dies to Messenger. So it looks like, barring some real craziness, maybe deciding not to attack. Josh,
I've seen crazier things while doing coverage.
I have too. I've seen them while watching coverage. But barring that, Joshua Wagener will be your Star City Games
Standard Open champion here in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Yep.
This guy. Don't call it a comeback.
Obliterator.
I guess you can call it a comeback.
I'd really like to. Makes token.
Alright, so we can get in the way of these.
Block. Sack 2 permanents, and he packs it in.
And that's understandable. So Joshua Wagener.
Yeah.
First place.
First
Star City
place.
Games Standard Open here in Baltimore. Congratulations to him. That is, the second time in 1 month span where Blue Black Zombies
And
taken
his.
down